The Games Cabin reviews Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Mr. Fry, I told you to make an appointment.
My schedule was open.
The newest installment in the long-running franchise by Ubisoft is one to come out with an open mind. But that's not a bad thing, since the past few titles have struck bad notes on the series due to the rushing of new yearly games. Now with that out of the way, time to get down to the story of Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which has to be the shortest out of the series by far. That is if you don't spend all the countless hours on all the side quests and collectibles scattered throughout its open world. You see, as the player, you take on the roles of Jacob and Evie Fry, who are twin assassins in historical 1868 London during the Industrial Revolution. As Jacob and Evie tackle London in its rising economical time, they both have their own set of goals. Jacob wants to form a gang called the Rooks and take back the city and its many districts from its growing Templar control, and Evie wants to retrieve one of the pieces of Eden that she knows is hidden somewhere in London so that she can keep Templars from using it for their own evil gains. Though this sounds like the beginning of a promising story for the series finally, it falls so short of that with poor character development throughout the duration of the game. Sure, you get to interact with icons of the time period like Charles Dickens and countless others, but the story never touches much on subjects that would have hit closer to home, like more backstory on the twins themselves perhaps, or their father Ethan Fry, who seems from the narrative to be a legend in the Assassin's Order. Instead, it leaves you hanging with a lot of unanswered questions and unsought-out relationships that they keep throwing at you but never doing much with. Now, if the story sounds like a letdown, then the gameplay is where you're covered, for the most part. You see, during the big assassination missions, when you finally go for the most epic and intimate part of the series, killing the big Templar leader, it didn't always give me that heck yeah moment, but with touch-ups on the combat system and the use of concealed weapons instead of your classic swords and axes that the series is known for, the game really picks up with the new combos. Once you get used to the changes, which shouldn't take you long, you'll be countering, breaking your enemy's guard, and brutally slicing them into Templar pieces into no time, with the upgradable skills and array of weapons to choose from. Also, the ability to upgrade your gang, the Rooks, changes how you interact with the city around you. Furthermore, as much as the new grappling hook / rope launcher seems a lot like the page straight from Batman Arkham games, it's actually a surprisingly fun addition to the game. And believe me, as much as I always enjoy the intimate feeling I got from free climbing a wall or parkouring through the cities in previous titles, it's nice to know you have the option to rappel up the wall of the most tallest and sometimes shortest buildings and zipline across the beautiful skyline of London at any time during your exploration of the massive landscape. This brings me to the other forms of transportation in Syndicate, which are carriage riding and trains, which have their own action-packed moments within themselves, like carriage racing and escort missions to fighting on top of moving trains to raiding the Templar goods they are transporting. Like I said, Syndicate's gameplay is fun, but with the entire massively engaging world at your disposal, it still comes with a cost. That cost was a day and night cycle instead of the amazing dynamic lighting and weather that Unity had. So in some parts, the world feels dull and muted compared to other parts that might be more vibrant and alive with rich textures. Those massive crowds from Unity are gone as well, but that's not bad since the streets feel perfectly populated this time with citizens and horse-drawn carriages that make London feel sprawling with activity anywhere you go. And with that sprawling new world that you get to make your playground comes a great musical soundtrack and environmental noises that truly make you feel like you are really running through London during the Industrial Revolution, which totally does finish the experience. On the other hand though, the narrative of the twins is hit and miss. You see, during my playthrough, I felt like you really didn't need two protagonists for this adventure. To be real, I feel like the story suffered from it. I mean, sure, Jacob was funny, but if you made two separate games, one with each character, you probably would have had much more engaging experience, and not just Evie spoke here and Jacob said that funny line there. All in all though, Assassin's Creed Syndicate was a fun experience, and the bonus or secondary objectives in the story missions make me want to go back and play through the game again so I can perfect my skills and call myself a true assassin one more time. Now my final thoughts. Personally, I would have been much happier if Evie was just a standalone protagonist of Syndicate, since I was able to connect with her character more as she best represents Assassin's Creed in its entirety. Also, with the focus on a title that is single player only, I feel like Ubisoft is trying to go back to their roots and revitalize the Assassin's Creed franchise, and Syndicate is a good look at what is to come as long as they just work on more compelling story with the Pieces of Eden, the first civilization, and completely hateable Templar characters. Then the next AC title is one to look forward to. I give Assassin's Creed Syndicate a 6.9 out of 10.
Perfect.